As India approaches its 75th Republic Day on January 26th, the nation has achieved a significant milestone in strengthening its naval capabilities. In an exceptional move reflecting strategic foresight, Prime Minister Modi recently inaugurated 3 advanced naval platforms in a single day: a destroyer, a frigate, and a submarine. However, in a fast changing security environment in the Indo Pacific, the developments in naval capabilities must be measured in a relative context. First, the capabilities of arch rivals, and second, the evolving security domain itself. Now, in my opinion, 5 points need to be underscored. First, definitely power projection. The commissioning of advanced naval platforms highlights India's aspiration to establish itself as a net security provider in the IOR region. Over the years, India's maritime security strategy has significantly evolved. The 2015 Security and Growth for All in the Region, or SAGAR vision, reflects India's dedication to fostering regional cooperation in the Indo-Pacific. This vision is supported by initiatives such as the Indian Ocean Rim Association and the Indian Ocean Island countries, which emphasize coastal connectivity and sustainable development. So, Prime Minister Modi's address at the 2018 Shangri-La Dialogue further reinforced India's strategic perspective for the Indo-Pacific. The SAGAR vision has gained traction through frameworks such as the Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative, or the IPOI, and the Information Fusion Center for the Indian Ocean Region, or the IFC-IOR, which is at Gurgaon. And this aims to tackle regional security issues and counter China's expanding influence. Now, while China's People's Liberation Army Navy, or the PLAN, has grown to become the world's largest navy by fleet size, please remember that it still lacks the operational capabilities and combat experience of, its own arch rival, the United States. So India's Navy, coming back to India, although the smallest of its armed forces compared to Air Force and Army, has consistently demonstrated efficiency and timely acquisitions in a relative manner. Now, compared to the Indian Air Force, which faces critical squadron shortages and so much has been in news recently, the Navy has pragmatically acknowledged domestic limitations in engine development. So it relies on foreign collaborations to fill gaps, and that ensures progress. However, I'll turn to that later because that is also pretty complex in its own way. Second, we have to boost naval defense exports. To establish itself as a net security provider, the Indian Navy must sustain the momentum it has recently achieved in naval defense exports. It wasn't like this always. The initiative for naval defense exports began in earnest only in 2011, and it gained significant traction after 2016. So India has transitioned from being a cautious supplier of naval equipment, primarily targeting countries such as Mauritius or Sri Lanka and the Philippines, to a more prominent player in defense exports. For many years, India's exports to nations such as Seychelles or the Maldives, Mauritius, Sri Lanka, etc., were limited to refurbished ex-Navy and Coast Guard vessels. However, this trend has undergone a remarkable transformation. Naval defense equipment, at least as of 2024, account for over 61% of India's total defense exports. This shift highlights India's growing capability to manufacture advanced platforms and its determination to emerge as a dependable supplier of defense equipment to neighboring countries. Now, this development is a critical component of India's regional and maritime strategy, especially given that China's rapid ascent in modernizing plan and expanding its influence in the Indian Ocean region has been by providing naval assets to smaller nations. Now, China has already established itself as the leading defense exporter to both Pakistan and Bangladesh. It delivered 2 Ming-class submarines to Bangladesh in 2017, gifted a P-625 frigate to Sri Lanka in 2019, and committed to exporting Yuan-class submarines to Thailand. Now, although the Thai defense deal, the submarine deal, encountered difficulties when Germany refused to supply key propulsion components, Thailand decided to proceed with the acquisition, as per the latest news, and this underscores China's persistence in maintaining its naval export commitments. Additionally, Pakistan is set to acquire at least 8 Hangar-class submarines and other naval equipment from Beijing, further enhancing China's presence in the region and in India's neighborhood. Third, we have to shed past inhibitions. India has increasingly aligned itself with Western naval powers to address maritime challenges through collaborative frameworks and efforts. Now, France was among its earliest Western partners, and for obvious reasons, and the two countries' cooperation has grown stronger over time. India also participates in joint maritime missions with European nations and the European Union itself, and especially the EU NAVFOR initiatives such as Operation Atalanta and Aspides. Now, furthermore, India contributes to significant maritime security dialogues, such as the Coordinated Maritime Presence, the CMP, which is a good maritime security tool, and enhancing security cooperation in and with Asia, which is ESIVA, another important tool. But what's been really interesting is that India's 2023 inclusion in the Combined Maritime Forces, the CMF, led by the US CENTCOM or Central Command, underscores its dedication to enhancing collaborative security in the Western Indian Ocean region. The IFC IOR kind of exemplifies India's commitment to collective security, even though it remains pretty much a preliminary step towards a more robust maritime security framework. Advancing to the next level will require India to engage in the technically complex task of real-time information sharing through secure legal frameworks, and this has to somewhere go beyond the open source intelligence or the OSINT. The Quad's Indo-Pacific Maritime Domain Awareness Initiative, the IPMTA, highlights these challenges in achieving seamless data sharing capabilities. Now, to counter hybrid threats and protect critical infrastructure, India must prioritize sharing vital intelligence and deploying unmanned systems for coordinated surveillance. Strengthening such partnerships will bolster India's naval capabilities and contribute to broader maritime security across the Indian Ocean region and, of course, the wider Indo-Pacific. Fourth, we have to assess, all these tech achievements and yet keep an eye on persisting challenges. The commissioning of new naval platforms certainly marks a significant milestone for India, but also highlights persistent challenges, particularly in achieving technological self-reliance in engine manufacturing. Now, although the INS Surat, INS Nilgiri and INS Vagishir were designed by India's Warship Design Bureau and built at the Mazagaon Dock Shipbuilders Limited, their engines were procured from foreign partners. And this exposes a critical dependence on external sources. So INS Surat, the fourth and final ship of the P-15B guided missile destroyer project, employs a combined gas turbine and gas turbine or the co-GAG propulsion system. So this system uses Me-6E and DT-59 reversible engines sourced from Ukraine's Zoria Marsh project, which has been a key supplier for India's frontline warships. In fact, despite the ongoing war in Ukraine, India has continued to rely on Zoria. In fact, the couple of new frigates that India acquired from Russia recently, INS Tushil and Tamal, both have Ukrainian engines from Zoria. And if you understand it correctly, this kind of underscores the critical nature of this dependence. And to secure the supply chain, Bharat Forge acquired a 51% stake in Zoria's Indian arm in 2023. Similarly, INS Nilgiri, which is the first ship of the P-17A stealth frigate project, which was launched in 2019, uses a combined diesel and gas, which is co-DAG propulsion system. Now, this system incorporates LM2500 engines from General Electric, which is GE in the US, and MAN diesel engines from Germany. Now, again, it emphasizes that India's reliance on imported technology, despite its strong indigenous design capability, has been continuing. Looking at the third one, which is INS Vagishir, the sixth and the final submarine of the P-75 Scorpion project, developed in collaboration with France, also depends on imported MTU diesel engines from Germany. Now, however, the Defense Research and Development Organization, or DRDO, plans to integrate a special kind of AIP propulsion, the AIP system, during its mid-life refit. aiming to modernize India's aging underwater fleet and bridge existing capability gaps. But this is not going to happen anytime soon. This is slated for the future. This reliance on foreign propulsion systems exposes a significant vulnerability in India's defense ecosystem, and we all acknowledge it now. Achieving indigenous engine development remains a long-term aspiration, potentially requiring 2 to 3 decades to realize. Fifth, we have to address the need for unmanned systems in the seas. The evolving threat environment underscores the necessity for advancements in underwater drones and other crewless or unmanned systems. India's recent acquisitions take the story forward, of course, but until complemented by unmanned underwater vehicles or the UUVs, it still remains at risk. Now, it is important to note that modern naval warfare is increasingly influenced by hybrid strategies like the anti-access, area denial, the A2AD tactics, electronic warfare, and the deployment of autonomous platforms. Hybrid warfare tactics such as seabed operations and cyber warfare have further expanded the threat. Naval drones are capable of reconnaissance, surveillance, and precision strikes. They also offer cost-effective solutions and reduce the risks to human life, which is a very important point. These platforms equipped with sensors and explosives offer a versatile and cost-effective alternative to traditional naval forces and platforms which take decades to build. The rise of Ukrainian Magura V5, through 2023 and now, is a testament to the potential of these technologies in the battle for Black Sea. Now, sea drones have proven to serve as the first line of defense in hostile maritime environments. For India, investing and embracing these technologies is crucial for enhancing its power projection capabilities as a blue water navy and also remain competitive. Now, going ahead, as Prime Minister Modi prepares to visit France next month, which is February 2025, the talks will likely focus on finalizing deals for additional Scorpion submarines and exploring advancements in underwater drones. You must remember that France has offered advanced UUVs to India, and this presents a crucial opportunity for India to bolster its maritime capabilities and balance high-tech Chinese UUVs such as the HSU-001. However, this must be accompanied by strategic investments and research and development to achieve long-term self-reliance, no matter how reliable our foreign partner is. Needless to say, I will be back to discuss the technical, military, and geopolitical details of Modi's visit to Paris next month. Stay tuned.